hello everyone. Today we are going to start part B of chapter 2 class 12 psychology. The first topic is about your psychodynamic approach. Now psychodynamic approach was introduced by Sigmund Freud and he was also known as a father of psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis is the process that he used to treat his patients. Now whenever I say the word hypnosis from a layman's perspective, you imagine someone holding a clock and asking the patient to concentrate on it, or some experimenter showing some visual illusion to the patient and asking them to concentrate on that, and all of a sudden the patient feels sleepy and the experimenter knows everything about their past. However, this kind of understanding about hypnosis is very wrong. Sigmund Freud was the first person who used hypnosis as a process to treat the people having physical and emotional problems. So he used three processes. First is free association, where he asked his patients to say whatever comes to their mind, their thoughts, their feelings, their ideas without any filters. Now as human, whenever we talk to the people or talk to the close friends, we don't usually say everything that comes to our mind. We edit, we modify our thoughts so that it can be appropriate or comfortable to the person and to the situation in which we are in. Now the second method he used is your dream analysis. He used to ask the patients to report their dreams and analyze it, whether it was joyful, whether it was traumatic, how frequent it is, and what kind of reflection does the dream show. The third process that he used is analysis of error. Now as human, we make mistakes. Sometimes we fumble, sometimes we use slang, sometimes we misspelled, sometimes we use some weird words, some weird sounds, and so on. So he used to report and analyze those errors that we make in conversation and used to find what kind of reflection does this error shows. So you can say it's a kind of very rigorous process. The next topic is about labels of consciousness. Now in your book there is an iceberg model which shows that there are three levels. First is your conscious level, then is pre-conscious level, and the third is your unconscious level. In conscious level, it includes the things that we are aware of in the real time. For example, I am aware that I am being recorded. I am aware that I am having a silent environment to record this. I am aware that the lights are on. So these are the things that we are aware of in the real time. Okay. The second is your pre-conscious level. Now it consists of those things that we can become aware if they are attended closely. For example, if someone asks me how was their experience in DAV school, then it is there in my mind, but I have to closely attend it to answer the question. So it consists of your memories and knowledge that you have read or you have experienced in your past. The third is your unconscious level. Now it consists of the things that we are totally unaware, and according to Sigmund Freud, your unconscious level consists of violence and sexual desires which we can't properly express in the society. The next topic is about the structure of personality. Now it consists of your id, ego, and superego. Now here is a disclaimer. Don't try to think the meaning of ego that you have read in English. It is different in psychology. Okay, so first is your id. Now id consists of your instinctual energies, your primary needs, and gratification, right? So it mainly consists of your sexual needs and violence, and it works on pleasure principle. So for example, take this lockdown situation only. You are so much frustrated to be in the same room, talk with same people, have same food. You are frustrated and you just want to go out of this room and explore. You want to travel, you want to chill with your friends in some restaurants and all those stuff. Here your id will suggest you to do it right now because they want instant gratification of your needs, right? Then is your ego. Now ego tries to satisfy your instinctual needs but in accordance with reality. So here your ego will suggest that you know what, you have to tell your parents, you have to inform your friends, you have to properly get an information about what is the location of the restaurant, all the COVID guidelines are followed or not, and then you can go. Then So it works on reality principle. Okay, so third one is your superego. Now superego is a moral branch of mental functioning. It tries to remind your parental authority through the process of socialization. So your superego will suggest you that if you are going to go out and chill with people, it's going to show that you are careless, you are irresponsible, and you are not caring about your nation, you are not caring about your parents. So you should stay at home, eat healthy, take care of your parents, and be happy. The next topic is about your ego defense mechanism. Is a way of reducing the anxiety by distorting the reality. There are 5 ways. First is your repression. So here the anxiety provoking thoughts or behavior, they are totally dismissed by the unconscious. For example, you had a mood swing and you started arguing with your friend. After some time, when the other friend is asking why you behaved in that manner, you are answering that I don't know why I behaved in that way. So here you are using your repression. The second one is your denial. Here you are denying that the anxiety provoking thought or the behavior even exists. So people having HIV or the people suffering from sexually transmitted diseases, they deny that they don't have it. The third one is projection. Here you try to project your own attributes upon others. For example, you are unable to make new friends because you don't want to initiate to start a conversation with new people. So if someone is asking that why you are not doing this, so you are answering, you know what, the other people, they are rude, they don't want to talk to me, and they have a problem to start a conversation with me. So here you are using projection. The fourth one is your reaction formation. So in reaction formation, you do the opposite behavior or you try to have the opposite thought than what you actually mean or believe. So like violent people or aggressive people, they are marching for peace. The homophobic people, they are supporting LGBTQ community. So here they are using reaction formation. The last one is your rationalization. Here the person tries to make unreasonable thought or behavior seems acceptable to others. So if someone is asking you why are you drinking, and you are answering that you know what, I'm drinking because I want to be the part of that group. So here you are using rationalization because you want to make your reason seems acceptable to other people. The next topic is about stages of personality development. So first stage is your oral stage. Here the instincts are focused on your mouth. So the baby tries to satisfy their needs through babbling, nail biting, thumb sucking, feeding, and so on. And mouth becomes the primary pleasure seeking part of their body. Here in oral stage, the babies try to form the initial feelings about the world. So if someone is having a feeling that the world is a bad place to be at, then he or she may have a problem in their oral stage. Next is your anal stage. It starts from 2 to 3 years. Here the babies, they try to control their urination and defecation because they want to conform to the demands of their parents. And here the anal area becomes the pleasure seeking part of their body. They like to move their bowels, and here there is a constant conflict between id, who want to move the bowels and get that instant gratification, between id and ego, where the ego wants to conform to the demands of the parents. Then comes your phallic stage, which starts from 4 to 5 years. Here the child becomes aware of the sexuality and the sexual relationship between their parents and understand the difference between males and females. So here the male child suffers from your Oedipus complex, where the child has love for mother and hostility towards his father, and there's a constant fear for punishment. The resolution could be that the child would accept the father's relationship with mother and try to model his own behavior after his father. So for the female child, they have that Electra complex. In Electra complex, they have love for their father and they try to symbolically marry their father. The resolution could be that the female child have to give up their sexual desires for their father and accept the relationship between the both parents. Then comes your latency stage, which starts from 7 years and continues till puberty. So here the sexual urges, they somewhat become inactive, and the energy is channelized to social and achievement related activities. The last one is your genital stage, which continues post puberty. Here the person have reached to the peak, or they have become mature in the psychosexual development. Here the person learns to behave with the opposite sex in socially and sexually mature way. Now there are two problems that can happen. First is fixation. Now fixation means failure of the child to successfully pass the stage. So if someone is fixated at oral stage, he or she may still put pain caps and in their mouth and still bite their nails, like me. Then comes if someone is fixated at anal stage, then he or she may still have problem in controlling their urination and defecation. Then comes your regression. Now regression means the person goes back to the earlier stage, means the person behave in a less mature way. So for a 19-year-old person or 21-year-old person, if some person is behaving immaturely, then he or she may had regression. The next topic is about post-Freudian approaches. First is your Carl Jung's aims and aspiration. So according to Carl Jung, he believed that human beings were guided by aims and aspiration rather than sex and aggression. His theory came to be known as analytical psychology. He told that collective unconscious consists of archetypes or pre-model images. Example can be your Mother Earth, God, and so on. They are found in your myths, and they are found in your myths, textbooks, religious textbooks, dreams, and art of all mankind. He also believed that in order to achieve unity and wholeness, one must become increasingly aware about the wisdom that is available in themselves and must learn to live with harmony. Then is your Karen Horney optimism. So she had an optimistic view of the human life, which much more emphasis on human growth and self-actualization. She believed that the disorders were caused because of the disturbed interpersonal relationship during childhood, and children may develop basic anxiety if the parents are indifferent, if they are rude, if they are erratic, and they are discouraging, and that can become a hindrance in their personality development. The next topic is about Alfred Adler's social interest and lifestyle. So he introduced individual psychology, where he believed that human behavior is goal directed and purposeful. We either choose or we create a goal. Now the personal goals, they are the source of our motivation. He believed that every individual have a feeling of guilt and inadequacy, which is called as your inferiority complex. Overcoming this inferiority complex is very necessary for optimal personality development. The next topic is about Erich from the human concerns. So here he believed that humans are actually social beings, and he argued the psychological qualities like your growth and realization of potential, it results from our desire for freedom and striving for truth and justice. He also valued the positive qualities of tenderness and love in personality development. Then comes your Erik Erikson, the search for identity. Here he believed that development is actually a lifelong process. It happens every period of our life. Then he devised the concept of identity crisis, which happens in adolescence. Now you have read about it in class 11 more elaborately, and he believed that we need to have a central perspective to have a meaningful purpose in our life. There are certain criticism to psychodynamic theory. First, that it is highly based upon case studies, that's why it don't have a scientific basis. Second, that it used small and atypical samples to form its theory, and it has overgeneralization. Third, that most of its concepts are not properly defined, that's why we can't even test it scientifically. Fourth, that it used males mostly, and they were acted as the prototype of human behavior, whereas the perspective of the women were highly ignored. Then comes the topic behavioral approach. So here the behaviorist always believed in those data which is observable, definable and measurable. They focused on learning, stimulus, response, connection and their reinforcement. For them, the basis of personality is a response that an individual gives to the environment. The structural unit of personality is the response. So there are certain theories that were devised as well. For example, like your classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov, then instrumental conditioning by B.F. Skinner and observational learning by Bandura. Then comes your cultural approach. So here they try to understand personality in relation to the features of ecological and cultural environment, like your rituals, your ceremonies, your arts, games, plays, etc. So these are those ways in which there is a reflection of the culture in your personality. It is an adaptation of the individuals or the groups to the demands of the ecology and the culture. For example, there is a difference, huge difference if an individual from Bihor tribal group of Jharkhand comes and an individual belonging to a agricultural society. So in Bihor tribal group, so the children, they are provided enormous freedom at a very early age to explore the forest, to learn hunting and other skills by themselves, whereas in agriculture society they are not given that much freedom, but they are nourished to be nurtured to their youngster, be obedient to the elders, be responsible and take the decisions while referring to their elders. So definitely at the end of it, they are going to have or inculcate the qualities of being dependent, obedient, responsible and nurturing to the youngsters, where in case of your Bihor tribals, they are going to have qualities like to be independent, then being autonomous and achievement oriented. Then comes the last topic of the video, that is your humanistic approach. We have to understand that two people played the prime role in popularizing this approach. First is your Carl Rogers and second is your Abraham Maslow. So Carl Rogers believed in the concept of fully functioning person. That means the fulfillment is a motivating force for personal development. He believed that human behavior is always goal directed and human will always choose adaptive and self-actualizing behavior. He gave the concept of ideal self and real self. Now, ideal self is a person that you want to become. You want to become spiritually happy, physically happy and emotionally happy, and real self is a reality that you have no peace in your life. So when there is a lot of difference between ideal self and real self, there is discrepancy. Then he gave the concept of unconditional positive regard. Now that means the therapist have to be positive. The therapist have to give the positive vibe and the positive response to the patient, no matter what the patient says. They try to hide things or they try to be rude. The therapist have to give that unconditional positive regard, which is very, very necessary to enhance the self-concept, and it is used in the client-centered therapy by Carl Rogers. Then comes your Abraham Maslow. As you know, in class 11, last chapter motivation, there is a triangle, you remember, where the peak of it is his self-actualization. It is the state where the person have reached its peak potential, means they have reached the highest peak of their potential, and the real journey of life begins with the pursuit of your self-esteem and self-actualizing needs. With this, I want to end this video. I hope you liked my explanation. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon for latest notification. If you have any kind of doubt, let me know in the comment section. I would love to clear it all. You can join my Telegram channel to get the notes in PDF format. With this, I sign out.